Joining us on set now, Ronald Wan. He's Managing Director at China Merchant Securities. He's joined, of course, us. And John's with us, and so is Zeb. And we're going to talk PMI.
Duo, yes.
PMI, come on. What's your read-through from it?
Well, people are actually quite surprised by the PMI index today because people expect the October figures will improve, but it turned out to be deteriorating. So it's kind of disappointing. But all of a sudden, people become more pessimistic because they expect the rescue measures may be coming down the road. So it may provide certain support.
Well, what's the driver down here for it? I mean, is it a slowdown globally or what?
I think it's also caused by the slowdown in the U.S. and the Europe economy. And also the sentiment in China is really bad. And also a lot of export companies are facing debt or funding crisis and also deteriorate the situation.
There also seems to be some analysis out of HSBC, which had its own number, that maybe the glass is half full instead of half empty. So it's like, what do we believe today?
I agree with
as Shanghai Composite is up, the Hang Seng is down. So are you optimistic or pessimistic in this environment?
Always moves in the opposite direction anyway, it would seem.
It does indeed.
HSBC or the real figure? Which one do you go for?
I go for the real figure. HSBC figures are more focusing on the small and medium sector. That may be the support. They may be supported by certain government measures and the funding requirement by the banks. But talking about the whole picture is kind of pessimistic.
One question: why should Hu Jintao or China give money to Europe?
I think Chinese government is still thinking about that. They have to make sure that the money we receive will remain intact and they can get back their money. So I think they're still thinking. I'm not sure. I don't know whether Chinese will. It's really bad,
Okay, well, we just had the Reserve Bank of Australia cutting interest rates for the first time since 2009. Do you think we're going to see the same type of loosening in China as well? They have the room to do it now, don't they?
They are fine-tuning the monetary and fiscal policy right now, helping out the small and medium export sector. But I don't think a drastic turnaround within this year. Maybe a cut in required ratio, in second quarter next year, but not now.
You say that, but we've been hearing from our guests, such as RCM's Mark Conan, the CEO, and also from Jim Chino, saying there's a credit crunch right now on the mainland. SMEs cannot get access to loans from banks. Don't they need to do something about that?
Well, they are actually fine-tuning the requirement ratio, for the banks, but they are trying to help out the small and medium sector right now, especially the export sector. But they are not they are not relaxed the whole package, for the whole economy. So I don't think there will be a drastic turnaround in the tightening policy.
Really? They don't need to loosen just yet, even though we have a slowdown in the manufacturing growth that we just talked about.
Well, they have to wait and see until whether the inflation is really coming down. But I expect the October and November figure will be dropping quite sharply. We're talking about the CPI.
It's been really interesting to see all the bearish calls about the property market. Wen Jiabao saying the other day, listen, we're maintaining our property curves. And as far as Hong Kong is concerned, with Barclays out saying...
Oh my God, that's quite a call, isn't it?
Yeah.
45% in 2 years?
Yeah, when I read that this morning, I was really astounded. 45% drop in property prices.
They were calling for 30% declines this year as well. So that's in anticipation of real interest rates going into negative equity. Basically, your holdings, you're not even making enough. Basically,
that represents a 40%, 45% drop in prices?
Well, don't forget, we do have a weakening economy, right? We don't have much money coming from the mainland anymore.
When everyone talks about it, then, does it mean it's going to go down, or just, what's the usual trend? Talk the prices down or talk them up?
You mean the property prices?
Is there a bubble?
I think there is a bubble in both China's and Hong Kong's market, but I don't think there will be something like 40 or 50% down in the market value. I think more likely it will be a 10 to 20% decrease in property prices in the next 12 months.
Increase?
Decrease.
Still highly unaffordable.
Corrections, yes, not a crash.
Is it time to buy, maybe?
For us mere mortals, not quite.
Maybe you can short property, can you?
Buy a box.
At least with the bricks and mortar, anyway.
You can short property stocks,
of course, yeah.
Property itself.
But how much of that is priced in already? Scoot.
Very interesting. 4 777s. Where are they going to fly?
Mid next year, I think they're going to kick off, aren't they?
Didn't Stephen Engel point out that Singapore Air already has Silk Air?
They've got also Steak and Tiger Air, yeah.
So why do they need another low-cost carrier?
That was sort of my question. We see these low-cost carriers popping up. In Japan, you have Peach Airlines.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. And I was going,
Why did you look at me?
Scoot. No, I just think the name is funny. But
what do you make of this?
You want me to
The
laugh?
name is funny?
I think maybe it's funny, and the budget, low-cost, air carrier is actually find it really hard to do business nowadays because of the weakening economy and also
You've
the,
got to have one, haven't you? Now, Sean Darby's saying that you're really tapping into the Asian consumer who's just about able to afford now getting on a plane, and that's what you want.
Well, I think so, yes.
well, and then what happens, I guess, is you build a bit of brand equity, and if they're a Scoot customer, they'll trade up to SQ, they'll fly SQ economy, and then they'll get into business class, and when they become gazillionaires, they'll be flying in the Singapore Airlines suites. I mean, that's the sweet spot for the airlines.
Speaking of making gazillions, what about bets on the Melbourne Cup? Huh? We have the big race coming up at the top of the hour.
I think it's, yeah.
Race 7.
Zeb's already made a bet.
Has he really?
Off a sweep. He's got glass harmonium.
Glass harmonium.
Well known.
This
This is just images from earlier today. There we go. Charming.
Is this similar to, say, the Royal Ascot in
They're a bit better dressed than Royal Ascot, I have to say. They wear top hats and
They're probably
tails.
not as nearly as violent.
Okay, now the fun lines are going to start lighting up at Bloomberg in just
Well,
just a
okay,
few
here are
minutes.
some picks right now for race 7. So we have picks coming through. Dan Petrie.
You've gone for the favourite, haven't
Yeah,
you?
I'm picking American.
You didn't have a choice in what horse you wanted, though.
Yeah, he won it at first sight, I believe, or something.
Ronald,
of
do
that
you have a
sort.
choice?
Sure.
I don't have any choice. I'm listening to Susan. I'm relying on her.
Because I'm the Shotton knowledgeable, race better, apparently. No, no idea.
We're
I
going to
just
take
put the
Susan's
odds.
advice on this one.
There is one called a drunken sailor.
How appropriate.
Outside chance, obviously, because he's probably not
I'll have that.
going in a straight line.
What is the purse? What are we winning, by the way, if we win today?
I haven't
65 Hong Kong.
Anyway, enough of this.
65 Hong Kong dollars. That's less than $10 US for
Enough of this
viewers
sort
in
of
other
thing.
markets.
Interesting.